Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of our RPG series. So in this one, let me just clear this. We're going to be beginning the actual combat. So we did the first part, which is the setting up of our combat mode. Now we're going to do the actual combat and the weapon sheathing. So let's start actually with the weapon sheathing. So I'm going to bring in the sheathing animation. All these animations, you should be able to find them in the description. But you can also use your own animations. Okay, so let's come to animations. If you're enjoying the series so far, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, let's get it. So here we are. I'm going to change this to humanoid. You'll probably get a animation that's already done. I will not give you this animation that you have to set up. So we're going to make into pose original. That will apply. And we're going to duplicate this guy like that. Perfect. Delete this. Okay, so this guy. Okay, so that's our sheathing animation. So we're going to call this sheath sword. Alright, so we're going to go into our sword melee state. Here, where we've got the sheath, what we're going to do is apply that motion, and then when we make a transition to there, and this would be, so this one will be when weapon equipped is false. Okay, then for this one we're going to now add when equipped weapon is false, like that. Then yeah, so now we're going to go into our weapon manager right there. Then what we're going to check is here, we're going to say if, okay, if not equipped, right, if it's not equipped, and I'm going to do that. That's if it's not equipped. Let me just look at the notes here, and we could also say so if it's not equipped, we're going to equip the weapon. Okay, else, alright, we're going to create a new function down here, which we're going to say public void sheath weapon. Alright, like that. Nice. So inside sheath weapon, we are going to call and we're going to call a function called let's see if we can do this in less code. Yeah, we're going to call and equip that. Oh, not without the curly brackets. Let's just remove those. Then an equip is basically going to be this function, but it's going to change where we are attaching to. So we're going to call unequip Then this shall be set to false, and this shall be set to false, and that shall be remain the same. Then we're going to wait for the same equip animation, and then attach weapon. We're going to change here. We could use the same function and just pass in the transform. So it would require a transform here when being called. Should we do it that way? Okay, let's do it that way. So let's say public transform. So we don't have so many functions. So public transform, sheath transform. Okay. So we're going to change this function, and we're going to say it also requires the transform. Transform. All right. So here we're going to say transform. All right. So that when we do attach weapon here, we're going to pass in this is the unequip. We're going to pass in the sheath transform. And then when we do attach weapon in the equip function, we're going to pass in the hand transform. So we are not writing any more functions, we're just modifying these ones to look like this. So we've got our equipped weapon and our unequipped weapon functions, which both call the attach weapon function, which now requires the object we're attaching and the transform where we're attaching it to. And then we pass the transform there, and weapon equipped at this point is set to, actually on the ship we do not need to set weapon equipped. We don't need to set weapon equipped. Alright. So we're going to be calling an equip weapon down there. And an equip weapon requires us to pass in a weapon. So we're going to do the same. Weapon dot weapon obj dot weapon object. Okay, that's it for the weapon manager there. So we can go back into Unity as soon as it's done compiling. Okay, we're going to now come and if everything has been done correctly, we'll just need one more thing on the weapon manager. So if we go to our player, under weapon manager, we've got a sheath transform that we are required to put. So right here, our sword, if you remember when we set it up with the sheath position. So the sheath, the parent of the sword, we're going to put that into the sheath position. So like that. Now when we play, then when we equip the weapon, it gets attached to our hand like that. And when we okay, I thought that we had done it correctly. Seems like we haven't. Okay, so let's see. Inside the player controller, let's see. So we've got our player controller here. Weapon manager dot equip weapon. Yeah, that's fine. And here we're checking if it's not equip weapon else. We forgot the else sheath weapon. Sorry about that. Okay, now we're good to go. We are good to go. So let's see. Hit play. Alright, equip it. We'll put it in an enumerator so that it can be a coroutine. but that's for next time. And when we sheath it, you can see it's been attached, but we actually played that animation a bit late. That's because, let's go back here, this has got an exit time. It doesn't have to have an exit time, but this one, back to the locomotion, does need an exit time. Okay, so you can just turn off the exit time there. It has to be instantaneous, so immediately equip and we sheath it like that. So we're just going to put in the coroutine so that we have it at the right time, but that will be for next time. Let's move on to the combat. So how are we going to do the combat? We're going to do the combat in such a way that when we hit our attack button, it will be more like a hack and slash. So the more you click it, it plays an animation, plays an animation, plays an animation, more like a combo system. All right. So right inside of our sword melee state, let's set up some few things in here. Let's go to our animations, combat animations. We're going to get the 3 animations. We're going to get our slash animation. We are going to get our backslash animation. And we're going to get our kick animation. This is our sword combo, the 3 animations. If you've got more, you can just put them here. Those are the ones that we're going to be using. So now, for each of these animations, we're going to make a transition back to the exit. Keep in mind the exit, nothing else. So we're going to put them like that. And then the final animation as well. All of them are going to go into the exit. So this is our combo. Now we are going to go into our player controls and then into the control asset. Open it up. We're going to add a new action map and call this combat. It's going to be a type pattern. Then we're going to delete this new action, add a new one and call it sword combat. Alright, and then we're going to add a new binding, left mouse button, left mouse, and then we're going to add one more, and that will be right mouse, like that. So actually no, let's delete that. We're going to have the sword combat attack. Let's call it attack. Okay, and then we're going to add another one, another action, and then we're going to call this target. So in another episode, we're going to have a lock-on system where it locks onto an enemy. So this is where now we have right mouse. So you have to click it once, then it locks on. When you click it again, it reverts back. Okay, so now inside our scripts folder, once we save this, save inside of our combat system, actually not our scripts folder, our combat system here, we're going to add a new C# script, and then we're going to call this player combat. Okay, I'm going to call that player combat. Now let's just look at some notes again. Okay, so now inside of our player combat, here's how we're going to do it. What we want is to have a combo sequence. Okay, now this combo sequence, we want it to be just like the weapon, the way we did it of weapon type, we want it to be a scriptable object as well. So the combos should also contain their own different damage and the likes. So they will contain their own different damage, their own animation that they're supposed to play, and their own like combo window when you're supposed to actually activate that combo. So let's do that. Let's create a new C# script as well and call it attack type scriptable object. So it's going to be attack type. So let's come, wait for it to finish. Just open that guy up. This guy is not going to be a mono behavior, but instead this guy is going to be of type scriptable object. Remember what I said, scriptable objects are just containers of information. So this will contain information of our attacks. So you can have different attacks that you can just really use easily. So we're going to create a asset menu as well here. Then we're going to say menu name is equal to, then we're going to say attack type, and then the sub menu we're going to say attacks. Okay, then sword attack. Alright, sword attacks. We're going to remove our start and update, we don't need them. Then inside here we're now going to say public animation clip. Then we're going to say animation, right? So that's the animation that we want to play. We've already set them up in there, but we need to just set them up in here so that we just pass the names to our animator controller. You'll see how that works. Then we're going to say public plot damage. So what will be happening is that depending on the attack, a kick will not do the same as a slash. Get what I mean? So if you slash somebody, the slash will come with its own damage depending on which slash it is, because the backslash and the forward slash, they have different effect. So the backslash doesn't have as much power as the forward slash. So for instance, the backslash will have more damage. Then when you add that damage to the damage of the weapon that you're using, alright? So there's the damage of the animation and the damage of the actual weapon. Those two damage will be added up to deal damage to the enemy. So we'll say float damage, and then we'll say public float combo window. So the window is basically the amount of time you're given to do that particular combo. Right, so that's it for our scriptable object. We're not adding any more to it. You can go back to Unity, and then you can come here, create a new folder. Then we're going to say combo attacks. New folder called combo attacks. Then we're going to create attack type, attacks with attacks. Then we're going to say attack 1. Right, we're going to give it some animation clips inside. We're going to give it slash. Right, we're going to say the damage of this one is going to be 7 and the combo window is 1. Then we'll duplicate it 2 more times because we've got 3 animations in there. So we're going to say rename this guy to, so F2 to rename, F2 to rename, attack 2, and then you can either F2 or F2. Oh wait, F2 to rename, then attack 3. Now attack 2 is going to be our backslash a guy. We're going to give him 5 on damage. The 1 can stay. And then we're going to have our kick. So for our kick, the damage shall be 4 and it shall stay on 1. So those are 3 different attacks, combo attacks, in fact, because we're going to have different attacks. So let's put another folder in here and say sword, right? Because we're going to have all the others. That's why for the melee, we're not going to have combo attacks for ranged, but for melee, we're definitely going to have. So we've got 3 sword attacks. Then now, we're going to now go into our player combat script, which we haven't done anything in. And we're going to now create an array here. So we're going to say public. It's going to be of type attack, type scriptable object array. Or you can use a list. It depends on what you want. I'd say to go with an array. Then we'll say combo sequence. Okay. Then we're going to also say private integer current attack index, which we're going to initialize as 0, and then just 0, not the F. F is for float. We're going to say private float last attack time, because we want to know what was the last attack time, so that we can use our combo time that we put in our attack object to decide if we're supposed to go to the next combo if it's being clicked. And now we are going to have a private. So this is optional, but I feel like it's great. So we're going to say private animation, previous animation. So what we're going to use this for is basically we want to crossfade the animation so they look more smooth. Okay, private attack, previous attack animation, right? And then we're going to now have a serialized view, because this one we don't need to be public, to our animator controller, and then we're going to say animator controller, because remember, everything to do with animations you want to deal with in the animator controller. So this is just going to be combat stuff. All right, now inside of our start function here, we're going to say animator controller is equals to get component animator controller. Then is that what we called it? Let me just make sure it's what we called it. Yes, it's an animator, it's our animator controller. All right, then we're going to have, we don't need the updating here, we're not using it, because remember, our attack is coming from our player controller. So our player controller handles all input. So our input is coming from the player controller into the combat script. So what we're going to have here is a few functions. We're going to have a public, because we're going to call it from the player controller, void attack. So that's our attack function. Then we're going to have another one, void, it's not public, it's a private function, play attack animation. Okay, and then we're going to have one more that we'll not use right now, void do damage. Void do damage. That's it. So let's start with our attack function. Inside of our attack function, let's put a comment here. So we're going to start with calculating. So calculate the time passed since last attack. That's the first thing that we're going to do. And what we're going to do there, we're going to say float a local variable time since last attack is going to be equal to time dot time minus last attack time. Okay, that's what we're going to do there. Then we're going to put another comment here. So these comments are just so that you guys can follow on your own when you are reading the code, and you should be able to understand it. I hope they're not bothering anybody. We could actually remove them, but I prefer to have them so that it's easy for you guys to follow even when you are debugging the code in the future on your own. So if the time is within, all right, is within a combo window. Remember the combo windows that we placed? So we're going to check if the time is within that combo window. We're going to continue combo. And if it's not, then we're going to reset the combo. All right. So we're going to say if time since last attack is less than or equal to combo. First of all, we need to make sure that our combo sequence is not done. So combo sequence at which element? So it's at the combo. Let's see. It's going to be at the current attack index dot. Right, we're going to get our combo window. So we're going to look at the combo sequence at the current attack index. So if it's the first one, it will be current attack index will be 0. That's the first. We're going to get that first element of this array and get its combo window. And if it's at 1, that's the second element of this array. The combo window is the one that we're going to get. And if it's at 2, we're going to get our third element. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2. So when we run this, the first time this will be 0. So it will be combo sequence element 0, which is the first attack. Then we're going to get the combo window, and so on and so forth. So if that, less than that, and then combo window, yes. Control K, Control D to line them up. We're going to say, we're going to call our animation, play attack animation. Okay. Then we're going to say combo sequence. Okay. We're still going to pass in the current attack index. So we're saying, remember we put the animation in there. We're going to play that animation. All right. So it's going to complain, but what we're going to say is here in play animation, we're going to say it requires an animation clip animation. That's fine. And then we're going to also call deal or do damage. Do damage. Now do damage at this moment will do nothing, but let's just give it the float damage. So now inside here we are going to actually say float damage to float damage. Let's rename that damage to deal is going to be equal to, we're going to get our combo sequence that, then we're going to add to it, so plus equal to, we need the currently equipped weapon. We need to find the currently equipped weapon. So we're going to come here and say initialized field, we need a reference to the weapon that we have equipped. So we're going to say equip. We're going to say game object equipped weapon. Then I'm going to come here and say equipped weapon is equals to find an object of type, then actually we're going to do this. We're going to do this in the next one. Let me just comment this out. Right now, let's just say do damage is going to have this, but here where we are going to know that we need to add the weapon damage, so we have to remember that. I'll set it up. So put a comment and say add weapon damage, but we're going now to pass damage to deal. All right, that's how it's going to be working like that. So at this point, I'm going to say do damage to enemy, and then at this point here we're saying play attack animation. All right, so now we could do the damage in here. No, actually I will not do the damage in here. I've changed my mind on this. Let's remove that. We'll do the damage on the sword. We're going to have a collider on the sword that is going to do our damage, but that is going to depend also on this. So we'll find a way of doing that. But for now, let's leave that as is. We play our attack animation, and then it will play our attack animation there. Now, once we've done that, we've got one more thing to do in here. We're going to say current attack index is equal to, so we're going to put current attack index and then percent combo dot length. So we just want for it to be always in this not greater than our length here. Okay, so we're going to put a comment here so that we say what this line here does. This is to move to next attack in the sequence. Now, if that is done, what about the else line? So else, I'm gonna do one thing. Let's just do that. Else, we're going to say so if the time window, is what we're checking here, has passed or is greater than the combo window. So we're going to, if it has passed, we're going to start a new combo. So if you click the button when the time window has passed, we'll just start the combo afresh. We're going to say our current attack index will be back to 0, and then we're still going to say play attack animation. Then I'm going to say current. Okay, we're going to say combo sequence. The very current attack index, then dot animation. Okay, so that's it for our attack function. So basically what is happening here is that first of all we're checking the time since the last attack. And then if the time since the last attack is less than our combo window, that means you're chaining an attack. We're going to play the animation that is in the combo sequence at that attack index. Then we're going to increment our combo attack index so that you can keep chaining them. Else, if your time has passed and you're above the combo window, we're going to reset our combo attack index back to 0, play the first animation, and you can start your combos again. Then once this is done, when the first attack is done, we need to also save our last attack time, because remember, we are using it up there. So we're going to say last attack time is equal to time dot time. So we're going to record it because we need to use it up there to check. So we're going to say record last attack time, like that. So let's just minimize that function. Let's go into the play attack animation function. So in this function, we're going to do a few things. So first of all, we're going to check if the previous animation is not null, and then else, we're going to put our else here. Now, if it is not null, that means there is an animation that was playing. We're going to say animator controller dot our animator in our animator controller. Then we're going to say dot crossfade. Okay. Then we're going to crossfade to our animation, which is this one that we are passing here. Dot name. So we want the name of that animation. That's why we put them directly, because we're going to use the same animations. Dot. And then comma. We need the crossfade transition duration. So we're going to say 0.2f or 0.2f. So if the animation that there was an animation playing, we do not want it to just change and look clunky. We want it to fade into that animation. Else, we're just going to play the animation because there's no previous animation. So to the animator dot play animation dot name. So those are the two things we're going to do. So the first part, we're going to crossfade, so to fade between the two animations. And then the second part is if there's no previous attack animation currently playing, just play that animation and then set that animation as the previous animation. So previous animation clip is going to be equal to animation at the end of this function. So once we've done everything here, so if there was an animation, it will be set as the previous animation, and the new animation will be set as the previous animation, and then so on and so forth. If it's a new animation, there's no previous animation, we'll play that animation, then set it as the previous animation, so the next animation should have the crossfade. All right. So you can just adjust this time the way with what feels right for your particular game. Okay. So once that is done, our combo system here is done. Let's minimize out of that. Come back here. We're going to go to our player, the actual player. So not the actual model, not the. We could also, you know what? Let's change it a bit. Here, let's not say get component. Let's say get component in children, so that inside of our, we put this on our player parent object. So we're going to attach our player combat script right there. It's going to need an animator controller that is going to get from our child object here. Then we're going to open up our player controller script, and inside this script we're going to create another serialized field at the top. So serialized field, then we're going to say player combat We're going to say player combat like that. Then inside here, we're going to say player combat is supposed to get component player combat because they're seated on the same object. Now, inside of our enable, on enable, where we're enabling our inputs, we're going to say player controls dot combat dot, then we're going to say sword combo attack plus equal to, we're going to say handle combat input. Right? We do not have that function yet, so let's go to the bottom here and actually put it. So let's just create a new region and let's say combat inputs. We're also going to have the targeting one. Then we can now say end region. Then inside this region, let's now say private void handle combat input. Then we're going to do that. All right. So let's see, why is it complaining? Property index. Oh, my bad. So the attack dot performed. All right. So when we perform the particular control, we want to go into our handle combat input. Then in here, we're going to say we've got the reference for player combat. So we're going to say player combat dot attack. That's what we want to do there. Similar to this, simple. We can close our region. We're going to have different inputs. So here is our move and equip input, but since the combat input is going to have many, we put it in a region. We can save that. So that means when we hit our left mouse button, it will come to this function and call our attack weapon function, or our attack combo function. So let's come back here. Then you can see here we've got the combo sequence. Under our player combat script, we've got the array of combo sequence. So we can click the drop down and then add 1, 2, and 3. So you can see it requires the attack scriptable object. So when we go into our combat system, then combo attacks word, it requires these guys. So come here and put attack 1 as element 0, attack 2 as element 1, and attack 3 as element 2. Then we can save that. Let's just increase the size of this guy so that we should be able to see properly. Okay, so now we can hit play. So we can equip our weapon, and then you can see there you go, you've got your combos. You click once, you click again, 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 you click again. So we've got some few things happening where the player is going into the ground and stuff like that, but that's also down to the animation. So I'm going to personally change the animations that we are using here so that we get some good animations, but we can also try to find a way of fixing the rotation so it doesn't rotate. But there we go, we've got a combat system, very simple but very effective and very modular, and yeah, I like it. So in fact, when we come to our weapon here and the sword right here, we're going to have our do damage script. So if it collides with anything, we're going to do damage. In the next episode, we're going to have it where we set up our damage collider, and then we should be able to do some damage. For this one, we've done a lot in this episode, so let's just end it here. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you're enjoying the series so far, we can keep conversing about it in the comment section below. All right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.